Hello, my name's Kirsten Hunter. I'm a clinical psychologist and I'm here to talk about various topics that come up routinely in private practice. I've been in private practice for 17 years and this is my bread and butter, so really eager to share it with you. I'm inspired to do this because I've just written a series of books called Signposts for Living that are not out yet, but it's really got me realising how it's great to get this stuff into the public. It's hard to access this otherwise, so here we go. So today we're talking about parenting. I have a ridiculous amount of clients that come along and they either come purely for parenting or they come for child behavioural issues and so we end up doing parenting, or they come for their own mental health and they're stressed about parenting so we end up there, or we've got marital issues and one of the top stresses that we talk about is parenting. So the amount of time that I spend on parenting is a lot, and I'd say I'm pretty experienced at it. So this is one sliver of the parenting topic, and that is apprenticeship. So here's the thing, this is the take home from today. Parenting, we can really break it down into three areas. We know we need to love our child, absolutely. So there's all of the love and the attachment, that's incredibly important. Then there's pride. Love, pride. Pride is about letting our child know what it is about them that we celebrate, what we see. This is about them starting with a fairly blank canvas and us giving them through our valuing and praise of them, really giving them information for their own self-talk to be developing that positive sense of themselves. So love, pride, and then apprenticeship. Now, apprenticeship is a really interesting framework. Now, a lot of parents come along and they talk about, how do I get my child to behave? And yes, absolutely, that's a whole conversation. But if you step back for a minute and you think, okay, ultimately I'm bringing up a duckling that's going to become an adult duck, a child to become an adult. And so I really need to look at my role as a parent as I'm the master craftsman and they are having an apprenticeship. So when you think of it that way, suddenly so many of our decisions change. First of all, it really raises the bar for how we need to be in our home as role models. You can't come and have someone learn the tools if the master craftsman is not good at the tools. So it puts a big mirror in front of us and it says, hey, how are you behaving? Are you being a role model? With your emotional regulation, with you living your life really well, your communication skills, your relationship skills, how are you going? Are you a role model? If not, stop and start there. It's incredibly important. So next step with apprenticeship is so much of our parenting, we do all of these things for our children and then we complain that they don't do them for themselves. If you realize that if you go and do the jobs for them, they're not going to learn the tools. They're not going to get their hands on the tools. So suddenly your framework changes with apprenticeship. You think, okay, if my child is capable of doing something, I'm going to gently encourage them to increase their skill set. If they're able to contribute to the cooking as they're young teenagers, get them involved. If they're capable of cleaning their room, don't clean it for them and then complain. It's a case of, okay, this is something they're capable of, so I'm going to be letting them know this is my expectation and gently encouraging them to come to the table. So much of our parenting is reactive, and we do what's easier in the short term, and then the long term it doesn't work well for us. So that's where, for example, we might just get in and, I'll just do it myself, it's easier. What are you doing there? You're teaching them that you will do all of these things that really is their responsibility and they need to be contributing their part. We don't want them to be a Cinderella and be doing the vast majority or be doing an adult version, but we definitely want them to be increasing developmentally so that they can show that they're able to have independent living by the time they are young adults. So there you go, apprenticeship. It's a really interesting framework. How am I training my child to be the young adult that I want them to be? And am I the role model that I want to be able to give them? I can't ask something of my child if I'm not modeling that myself. So some wonderful confronting questions and a really great framework to just keep us on track, because parenting, I think, is the hardest task, the hardest job. with regard to, it's usually the first time we're running through, and when I say that literally, because each child is different, we never quite get to the practice point of relaxing. So I'm sure we're all doing our best, and gotta try to avoid the parental guilt, which I would argue is the strongest emotion. So there you go. If you want to catch me, I'm on KirstenHunterAuthor.com. My Facebook page is Kirsten Hunter Author, as is my Instagram handle, Kirsten Hunter Author. I'm on Twitter, Kirsten Hunter AU. Psych in Your Car, YouTube, of course, and podcast, Signposts for Living by Dr. Kirsten Hunter. All right, thank you. Take care.